Happy lunch hour, guys. All right, here it is, Wednesday afternoon, and yes, I'm still in Tennessee. Don't plan on going anywhere soon. Can't say that for everybody that lives in the state. Uh, I'm gonna. I've mentioned many times about getting involved, knowing what's going on in your local communities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I told you guys last week about Jamie Dimon, the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase, who came out and said that the government needs to use eminent domain to take private property to put up wind farms and solar farms, right? And we need to put a stop to some of this. Private property is private property, okay? I want to give you a little bit of idea of what's going on down here. Now, granted, this is on the other side of the state. This is near Memphis, all right? So Mississippi River area, whole 9 yards. We all know who Ford is, okay? Fix or repair daily. Yeah, and I own one. But we all know that Joe Biden is hell bent, I was telling you this morning, on electric vehicles, right? That, by 2032 or whatever, he expects 67% of the vehicles on the road to be electric vehicles. They got to get built somewhere, right? Okay. Because apparently we can't convert over these existing factories that are in Detroit or in Ohio or anything like that to make EVs. For some reason they could convert automotive manufacturers during World War II with the technology that was available 80 years ago from making cars to making planes and tanks, but they can't figure out how to change the assembly lines from making a fuel-powered vehicle into an electric vehicle. So, of course, now we have to build all new plants. Well, this is what's going on in Memphis, all right? Ford plans on building a $5.6 billion electric truck plant, like anybody wants a freaking electric truck, near Memphis. They need the property. So what are they doing? Well, Tennessee is using eminent domain to take property from landowners, farm owners. Ironically, it's from black farm owners, which is more than enough to piss you off, okay? Hey, Joe, if you ain't black, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, right? But you're going to screw over the black community. You're going to screw over these black farmers, some of whom have had this property in their family since, I don't know, the Civil War, okay? When slavery was ended and they were given 40 acres and a mule, and the family has kept up this property, and now you and the Tennessee government, mind you, this pisses me off, okay? This is my state, is trying to use eminent domain to take land away from private individuals that they own and have been in their family for generations to put up a plant for something that nobody wants. Remember, I told you the other day, 3 million EVs in the United States. That's it, okay? Nobody wants these things because they are useless. But so they're planning on taking this land. There's a story about a gentleman by the name of Marvin Sanderlin, okay? And this was reported, when I found this originally, this was on some alt news. And so I went digging to find on more mainstream news. I wanted to find some verification, okay? I found it. Not that Yahoo News is the greatest authority out there at all, but if it's on Yahoo News and it's on the alt media, I'm going to take a guess on multiple sites. I'm going to take a guess that this is true, okay? And I'll link this below. You guys can go look this up wherever you want, okay? Marvin Sanderlin owns 400 acres. The state wants to take 10 acres from him to put up this blue oval city, okay, this big plant. Now, he's a farmer. Just what I want is a manufacturing plant right next to my farm, okay? I don't know. Lithium batteries, what sort of chemicals might be coming out of places that use batteries, manufacturing. I'm trying to grow food. He's a farmer and harvests timber. Okay, yeah, let's kill off the plants, right, Joe? Because that's your idea. So they decided to offer him what they call fair market value for farmland. They offered him $37,500 for 10 acres. That's $3,750 an acre. All right. As he put it, there's nowhere around that you're going to buy an acre of land for $3,750. You can't buy it, as he put it, you can't buy a swamp for $3,750. Okay. They are trying to rip this gentleman off. Why? Because Joe loves the black community, right? So let's screw them. I've said many times, why the blacks vote against their interests, I have no idea. The only time they're important to the politicians is right before an election, because the day after an election, they get screwed by the government every time. Okay? Wake up, people. All right? This is what's going on. There's another piece of property, okay, that was listed on the market, 70 acres, 70, okay, for $14.5 million, okay. It's gone up $10,000 per acre, okay. Do the math, that's $700,000, okay, for 70 acres since just a couple of years ago, all right. They are trying to screw landowners anywhere they can, right? Now, a lot of you guys are looking at moving out to the country. A lot of us already own rural properties, whatever. This is why it's so important to know what's going on in your town. We had right here in Sharps Chapel, okay, this was during COVID, a company that was going to come in, buy property here, and put in a chicken plant to make eggs to make different kinds of vaccines. All right. Not that anybody had a problem with what they were going to do, but nobody wanted literally millions of chickens. You can imagine the smell of millions of chickens in a small community. And the city around here had, the townspeople got together, and we had a whole bunch of meetings and people saying, this ain't going to happen. This ain't going to happen. This was a couple of years ago. They still haven't even broken ground on this, because they're doing anything and everything. The people are doing anything and everything, me included, are doing anything and everything we can to stop this from going in, okay? Because we don't want it here. You need to be involved in the area where you own property to find out what's going on and put a stop to it if it's against the community interest. Sure, a Ford plant, what'll it do? It'll bring a whole lot of jobs. I get it, okay? It'll also destroy a whole lot of people's lives, especially Mr. Sanderlin's here. This is the thing, guys. And I've said this 100 times, if we don't make our voices heard, we have nothing to say whatsoever when things don't go the way we wanted them to. All right? It's the same thing I say about people in elections all the time. Well, I'm not going to vote. It doesn't matter. Okay, if you don't vote, you got no right to say it. You got no right to bitch. Okay? It wasn't important enough for you to cast a ballot for the person that you thought would do best. You don't have a right to complain when things don't go your way. It's the same with this. This guy is fighting, okay? Good. And some of the other people are fighting. But it should have never gotten this far. It should have been, before they were even considering doing this, people should have been raising hell with the local legislatures going, not happening. We don't want this here. No big deal. All right? You want to, like I said, why can't you take a plant in Detroit? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, there's a Ford plant somewhere in Tennessee too. Okay. Why do you have to build a new one? Why can't you retrofit the old one where it already exists, where the people are already used to it? but we want to bring jobs here. You want to destroy lives here, okay? You can't plow under every farm in this country to put solar panels in or wind panels in or EV plants in or whatever, because we don't need solar power. We don't need wind power. We don't need electric vehicles. But what we do need is food. You need to be vocal. I've been saying this constantly lately. It's time for the silent majority to get freaking loud. We need to stop letting these people just do whatever the hell they want with their idiotic ideas. Electric vehicles don't work, period. Okay? They don't start in cold. You can't charge them. We don't have the electrical grid for it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we're going to spend $5.6 billion putting up a plant that I bet you in 5 or 6 years is shuttered because, gee, nobody wanted to buy our electric trucks. Big surprise. There was a video, a few months back about a guy in Utah who put a trailer on the back of his Ford pickup truck, his electric Ford pickup truck with a full charge. He went a whopping 99 miles with the trailer on it. That was it, okay? I can put a trailer on the back of my Ford pickup truck, and I can go about 500 miles before I have to find gas, okay? I don't know. I drove here towing from Vegas in that truck, right? 4 days of driving, no problem, because I didn't have to stop every 100 miles to wait a couple of hours minimum to charge a vehicle. If you want to do this, if you want electric vehicles, build the infrastructure first. You do not build the vehicle and go, well, you'll figure it out, because I don't want to figure it out. I know where the gas station is, and it works. I know where my food comes from, and that better stick around. Pinball out.